المؤتمر القيم الحقيقة. It's an opportunity for Lebanon to talk about implementation. Okay. In 2019, we have in 2018 the call for Paris for cyberspace. Lebanon was one of the few countries who started, but we haven't anything about cybersecurity. We have only a bureau for cybercrime in Ministry of Interior. It's only people used to call and with no means. So in November 18, resolution done by the Prime Minister at the Higher Council of Defense with 15 ministries involved to make the cybersecurity strategy in 6 months for Lebanon. And it is on the site of the PCM. So this cybersecurity was, let's say, 2019, 2022. It is not trendy anymore to give more than 1 year. So it's better to say that now after 4 years, we are in the review. But the problem is immediately it was endorsed in the last Council of Ministers before the Saura. So starting from this 2019, Lebanon is collapsing, and it was collapsing. Institutions have been targeted for 3 years, and we have really little means. And now we are in 2023. I will talk about revision. This is the cybersecurity committee of 16 stakeholders, and these are the resolution in which at the time the European community, European EUD in Lebanon and EU for sure, we have the chance to have the ACT project, Advanced Counterterrorism for Lebanon, with 3 components, and we had the facility to implement the strategy, to start immediately implementing the strategy. Let us go to the pillars to know what we are going. These are the pillars of the strategy: defend, deter, and reinforce. Usually at that time, ENISA has stated 4 to 5 pillars. Since we were starting and we have no experience, we have spreaded them in 8 according to Lebanon particularly needs and so on. But most of them of strategies cover these subjects. And it was important for us to start with threats and with international cooperation because we needed that badly. Capacity building for sure, and information and communication technologies are going so fast. Promote educational capacity and industrial. Since Lebanon has no resources, we said we have a lot of capacity, students and so on. It is good to start from small industries in the field of IT. At that time, we said we cannot consider cybersecurity as a national problem. It's an international problem. Collaboration between public-private sector. At the PCM, we had a PPP division created in 2017 because for IT, for many other new projects, because public sector is unable to follow anymore. As usually, you know that industries play a big role in norms and setting norms and so on. And then particularly this strategy has a section which name is institutionalization, because we were unable to know, but after Taif, each minister is an emperor. So coordination should be at the highest level of the executive body. So we said it is very important to have an agency after studying, and then we give a very important part for institutionalization. And this a quick view about the ACT project. The first one is completely counterterrorism. The second is cybersecurity. And the third one is a human rights-based approach for all of them. The advantage of working in counterterrorism, we have the prosecutor and all the law enforcement agency, and we have been able to address the cross-cutting between cybercrime, counterterrorism in general. And as you know, radicalization and terrorism and recruitment with the new era are also have a lot of cross-cutting with internet means and tools. Quick look on major achievement. We started immediately. I want to highlight something. In Lebanon, after 2019, there's a resolution that there's no more way to recruit in the public sector. So, and because of political problems and burdening any development in Lebanon, we decided to say that we will prepare people while we are preparing the institution. And then we will use from public sector already recruited people, and we will transfer them to the agency. And so we have 2 to 3 years to prepare them. So implementation component, we have capacity building, cybersecurity training center, threat intelligence platform, digital forensic lab upgrade, cryptocurrency unit, Lebanon cybersecurity ecosystem with the private sector, creation of the National Cybersecurity Agency, and the most important thing is the national CERT. And we addressed immediately the critical infrastructure. I need to highlight something very important here. So we found out that in cybersecurity, the most important couple are judges and law enforcement agency, and the level between them was shocking. I mean, we don't have specialized judges in Lebanon and in most of the countries. And usually now we have to think about specialization. We started involving from the early beginning around 45 judges trained on cyber security vulnerability assessment. We prepared and planned with few labs, and we have designed fully ready for implementation the threat intelligence platform. The problem we faced at the beginning, as you know, that each institution, we have the Ministry of Telecommunication with us. We insisted to have all the telecom operator, the regulatory agency, and we didn't want to exclude any actor in the field. So when we started with all, we had a lot of conflicts in the beginning, because in the law enforcement agency, everybody is supposing that he has to have his own CERT, his own SOC, and so on. And this building a culture of collective work was successful after this year. So we will have one CERT, we will have one training center. And from the early beginning, we had the Lebanese University is member of the committee. The Lebanese University, we have labs, we have conducted with the IT, with the CERT, the regional CERT also. They used to make catch the flag and so on. They helped us a lot while we were preparing. We started very early. And now we took from Europe, because we have 3 partners from Europe. Italy, France, and Spain. Spain are very strong in interagency mechanism because of terrorism. Italy has a cryptocurrency unit. We have done multiple training for judges and law enforcement together on cryptocurrency, and without talking about how many study visits. And each training was followed as with an academic way. To be certified for any training, to have a project after each training. So the National Security Agency, the law is completely finished, prepared, not only the law. After evaluating all the type of autonomous institution in Lebanon and their failure, we have worked on a specific model related to the Prime Minister itself, and to have autonomous financing. And we decided with the EU that any contract that we will be doing will be operation on 5 years. Otherwise, we don't want equipment. So digital forensic and 4 law enforcement agencies was with the prosecutor prepares based on needs. This is the full sets of training and subject. I can tell you we have the number here. I don't know if you can read, but all these trainings have been conducted on 65 civil servants from the administration, which are ready and the thing that we have done since 2017, we forced all the administration not to change the people. And since we have people are leaving the administration in Lebanon, in each unit, we force them to have at least minimum 6 to 7%. So today we lost, let's say, 5% only from the capacity we have trained. So all this training has been done, 360 training during 2 years on 65%. And now the new era, critical infrastructure, now the future, if you, it's not only in cyber, in counter-terrorism and so on. We decided to address it both for cyber. For example, we classified the critical infrastructure. I want to surprise you that we have done a very intensive work. I'm telling you, you know how many critical infrastructure to be assessed and cyber addressed in Lebanon? In 13 sector, 165 critical infrastructure. And they are classified. The number of pages of data which are being, it is not only cyber, I'm talking cyber, physical, nuclear, chemical, everything. Human rights, someone talked yesterday about the catastrophe of this component, and especially in a very transformation economic problem. So we have shortage of financial resources, so we have been working hardly with these people who cannot leave the country. The criteria of identification was very strict to secure having them. So what are the key achievements? You can be sure in these administration, 15 administration, and at each time we associate the entity which is concerned. For example, if we are talking about airport, we have the Ministry of Transport, even if they are not in the building. How much time I still have?
4 minutes.
Okay. Assessment, recommendation for elaboration, critical infrastructure, summary of conclusion, I have talked about them. Digital forensic project, the 4 law enforcement agencies are ready now with their lab, trained part of them in Italy, the same persons, and according each one to the tools existing. And these will be contract for 5 years of operation. And this is the beautiful outcome. This is the summary of the law of the National Cybersecurity Information System Agency with all its division. And we are going to start this year, and all the people, 25%, we will start with 20, have been those who have been trained during these 2 years. So cybersecurity ecosystem, you know, for example, we have looked at multiple cybersecurity ecosystem in the world to have at least the generic part. We looked at the American one, and we find out how difficult to compare because of the number of agencies and so on, and to make everybody understand that we cannot copy. We have this complication, and it's better to look at the generic. This is just the complexity of the ecosystem. I want to show this look about the technology map. Who can cope? So it's very important to be aware, even if the low people want to follow, how the technology will help them. This is a very generic ecosystem for cybersecurity, a very generic, and everything should be addressed. If you missed something, okay, you have a problem. So how to cope? This is training and coordination and collaboration. And interdisciplinary is a must. This is the EU one. And I want to show you something. Sorry. This is very important. Sorry. I'm going back here. I want to show you something. Wow. كيف بيرجع لورا شيء؟ This, for example, .gov.lb in dark web, the government one. These are the way we force all the parliamentary commission to attend, to understand before they do laws and wrong laws. But just to tell you, when yesterday we talk about sovereignty, pay attention that it is not, it is no more physical. And there's something that I wanted to show also. Why? Sorry. I want to show something. ما عم بيمشي لقدام. بعد وحدة. أيوة.
Okay.
إيه هلا.
Like other, but you finish.
I wanted to show you yesterday, I told you that
When-
just that 1 minute, just for regulation, laws and so on. Look how many, I don't know what's going on, but it was 1,400 pages of regulation and law. It's working against me. It's not a problem. So just, I want to tell you that in the review, which will be out in in November, we have to complete the implementation. Everything is ready where we need laws, when we need regulation, and the financing is ready, and the contracts are already designed, and the people are there. So that's what I wanted to highlight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lina.